Hello guys, in this video I am going to show you how to Dockerize the MERN Stack application. So what we are going to do is we have a front end that is in React and we have a backend that is in Node, and we are going to containerize this application. Okay, and uh, and we are going to communicate with the MongoDB front end and the backend. So I will post this Dockerfile code link in the description and also the Git link, so you can check it later. So now let's start. Let's open a front end and let's create a Docker file here. So this will be Docker file. Okay, I created a file here, and this will be my front end file. So So we are going to use Node.js 18.9.1. Okay, you can choose your version as well. So I'm going to go with the previous version, so you can use the latest version as well. Now, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to use a directory that is the working directory called as app. So all the node commands would run in this folder. This will be the root folder. So this will be on the Docker. It will not be on a physical machine. This will be on the Docker side. Okay, this will be virtual, so it won't be visible on my machine. So I'm using Windows, and I'm also using Docker desktop. So if you don't have this, you need to download this Docker desktop in order to go ahead with this. So we have this node version over here, and we have the working directory, that is the virtual directory that will be created on the Docker. Okay, app. Okay. Next, what we need to do is now what we are going to do is we need the package.json file, okay, from this directory, from the host directory, that is from my Windows machine. So I will copy this. So copy package.json into the slash app directory of the Docker, okay. So this will copy the package.json from the current Windows machine from my file location, and it will copy to this app directory. Okay, that is a root directory on Docker. Okay, next what we are going to do is then we are going to install run npm install. So after this is copied to the app directory, we are going to run this command npm install. Okay, in the app directory that is on the Docker. Okay, next what we are going to do is we are going to uh, expose this to 5173. This is the port number that we are going to use for our front end. So 5173, and we are exposing it in the Docker container. Okay. Next, what we have to do is we need to copy the code from the front end, that is this code, the source code, into the app directory. So we are going to do that now. So next, what we will do, we'll copy the current code into the app code. Okay, we'll copy the Windows files, all these files from this into the virtual app directory that we create on the Docker. Okay, and then we are going to use npm run dev. So we are going to use these commands in the app direct working directory that we created. So npm run dev. Okay, these three commands we are going to use. Let's save this file. Now let's go to a backend code. Okay, let's create a new file, similar file. So docker file. Okay, I created the similar file here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to paste this. So from node 18 points, the same version, then the working directory is app again. Then we are again copying the package.json into the app directory. Then we are saying npm install, that will create the node modules. Then we are copying the source code from this to the app directory from a local machine to the virtual machine that is on the Docker. Then we are exposing the port to 5050. So this will be the backend port. Okay. And this is the command, that is npm start. This will execute when we run the Docker. Okay. Now, once we do these files, let's create a new file in this. So that file will be docker-compose.yml file. So I'll create this file over here. That is okay, it got created in this. So let's delete this from here. It should be created in the project directory. So docker.yml file. Okay, this will be the main file now. So let's add the configuration here. So let's use the services. Okay, services and backend. So now we are setting the backend configuration. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this folder over here. So I'm going to open the folder. So this is the folder here. So MERN Docker should be in the application. So I'm going to file open folder, and I'm going to say I'm going one step back. So that will be JS. Okay, then I'm going to say MERN Docker, select folder. Okay, now we have the project. You can see there is a project folder, and this should come out of this. Okay, this should go in the MERN Docker. So this we should put it in the MERN Docker. That is the root directory. So I'll just delete this for now, and then I will create the file over here. That is the docker-compose YML file. Okay. So we have created this file now, and we have backend and the front end. Now let's go and add the code. So let's add here services. Then let's add backend. So we are starting with backend. Okay, at start. So a backend is located in the project folder, and backend. Okay. Then what we have is port. Okay, then let's create a build over here, and this should go under the build. So we have build, that is on project and backend. Then we need to go to ports. Okay, ports of ours will be dash. We'll listen the backend at 5050. So 5050 port number. So 5050. Okay, and 5050 over here. So there is a spacing here. So next one, then next we are going to use networks, and this will be the common network that we are going to use. That is the app, that is the app network that we are going to use. So app. So this will be our network name. This will be the network name. So this will be the network name, that is the app network. So this will be the common name for all the networks. So you will see down how we structure it. So once we do this, then we will put the environment. So it should just come under the network. So it environment will be now we have to put the MongoDB URL here, and this connection, this will be the database name over here that I'll be using. So appdb, and this will depend on MongoDB. Okay, so this we will define uh, below in the structure. Okay, so let's use MongoDB here. This should be proper. Should come like this, and depends on MongoDB. Okay, so we will define this in the structure down below. Now let's define front end the same way. So backend we have decided in the same line we have to put front end. Okay, now also here what will happen is the build. So the build will be the same directory structure, that is project slash front end. Okay, then what do we have next is the ports will be, what did we mention about the ports is, so front end port will be, we have the Dockerfile 5173. So let's copy the same port over here. So 5173 and 5173. Okay. So this will be the port that it will run on. Again, we'll have to copy. It should communicate using the same network. So all our containers can communicate. So app network will be the communication. Okay. And now my URL runs on this. So this will be my environment for the application, and the app and backend will be the, so this will be the API URL. So whenever we make a request, it will go to this URL. Okay. Now the third part we need into the services is the MongoDB. So I'm going to paste the code here of the MongoDB. So again, this will run on the app networks as I have shown, so that all these containers, that is the MongoDB plus the front end and the backend can communicate with each other using this app network bridge. Okay, so we have included the MongoDB. Okay, next what we are going to do is we are going to use the network. So it should come after the services. Okay, so you can see that our services is there, and just in line of the services is the network. So now services will have backend. Then the backend will have all its data as I have explained you. So you can minimize this. So backend will have its own data, front end will have its own data, and MongoDB. So services contain backend, front end, and MongoDB, whereas the network, we have app network that we have defined here in all the containers, and the driver is bridge. Okay, this is the Docker driver. Okay, bridge, and we are communicating using app network. That is a common network to communicate between the services. That is the backend, frontend, and MongoDB. Okay, and volumes I have used MongoDB, DB data, and driver is local. Okay, and now I will just save this. And now if I now let's run docker compose dash dash build. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this command over here, docker compose up and build. Okay. So once I run this, our container should be up. So let's see if it works perfectly. So in your case, it might take time because I have installed some packages. So it got update it fast, but in your case, it will take some time and it will be up in some time. So now if I go to my Docker desktop, you can see that all my containers are running. And if I open this, you can see that MERN Docker Mongo, MERN Docker frontend, and MERN Docker 3 containers have been running. And now if I load localhost, and what is a frontend URL, that is that the port number is 5173. So let's open this into this. So 5173, and you can see that we have the Docker app running. Now we can just add these details and see if it is getting saved to the database. So I'll say senior and I'll say save, and you can see that the data is getting saved into the database. So Docker Compose is working, and yeah, we have hosted the application on the using Docker. So we have done everything on the Docker. So we have the containers that are three sets of containers, and they communicate with each other using app network. Okay, and also MongoDB is also connected. So it communicates between all the three containers, and we can see that the data is getting saved. The front end communicates with the back end with the database. So if I go here, so this is the app network that allows it to communicate. Okay, and we have a bridge over here, and all this is running. And a build is in the project backend, so it will go to the backend and it will run the Dockerfile. And front end as well, it will do the same. It will go here and run this file at the time of build. So this will be done using this build over here. So it will go to the back end as well as it will go to the front end when it's building. And you can see that we can now communicate with the database as well as with the with the front end and the back end. So thanks for watching, guys, and I will put the link in the description so you can go ahead and use this project. So I will give you the Docker files as well and the GitHub repo in my description. So you can go to the website and then you can download, you can go to the GitHub link and download the code.